I want you to be aware of that. And then moving to the next about Data Science Nigeria. So, Data Science Nigeria, we are committed to raising a millionaire talent and beauty AI solution that improves the quality of life and the well-being of the 2 billion people living in the emerging market. I'm very sure a lot of us are familiar with this vision of us as Data Science Nigeria community member. And if you are not yet a community member, it is high time to join. I'm going to be speaking to how you can become a community member and the benefit of community member in my subsequent conversation. So now, this is what we do at Data Science Nigeria to achieve our vision to raising a million AI talent and build AI products and solutions that will improve the well-being of the 2 billion people living in the emerging markets. We use these are 5 pillars of impact to achieve that. And one of it is the community development. The community development, we are very big on this, especially to achieving our vision of raising a million AI talent to have communities, which I'm still going to speak to the 12 strata of our communities. We're also very big at research, and we have won awards and at international conferences, on a lot of our research papers. Capacity building, yeah, this is what we offer at different levels and different levels, at and I'm also going to speak into this in subsequent slides. We also have the ecosystem development, and we have the consulting and product development. I'm just going to be sharing with us some of the products that we have developed at Data Science Nigeria. Okay, good. So, do you want to know more about us, what we do, especially what we did last year, okay, calendar? So that's the 2023-2024 annual report is available for you to access. My colleagues on the call will be dropping the links to this, and then you can also scan the barcode on your screen to also access this, the annual report. Okay, good. So now about the Data Science Nigeria community. So this is the Data Science Nigeria community. We were created, to actually focus on raising a millionaire talent part of the vision of DSN, and then we have various communities in different countries, and then we have the campus and the city community as a major as a major legs. The campus communities are the communities on campuses, universities, UI, Unilorin, Unilag, UniU, and then in cities, Shomolu, Kaduna, Zaria, Port Harcourt. These are our communities that are actively worth learning and engaging in research. So these are our global footprints. We are also in other countries like Kenya, Uganda, and other countries around. So these are our strata, the DSM multifaceted community initiatives. I'm very sure that there's no way you are going to fit into any of this. Yes, you need to fit into any of this. Either you're in campus and you belong to a campus community, or you're in city, you belong to a city community. Yes, if you are a lady, because we are very inclusive, we have a dedicated community for ladies in AI. For kids and teens, we also have a dedicated communities for kids and teens. AI for school, this offers schools, secondary schools, the opportunity to request for tutors, and then we make it available from our community member. We also have AI professionals. We have AI for executive. There's any AI talent database of talents, that are ready for job. We also have AI startups, AI researchers, practitioners, and 2 expert partners and all. These are communities under the Data Science Nigeria umbrella. So now this is the ladies in AI community, where all the ladies, who are interested in artificial intelligence, AI enthusiasts, are expected to be part of. And to join this community, you need to scan this barcode to join this community. My colleague will also be dropping the link to joining the community. Good. Now, the question is, why should I be a DSNR? Why should I be part of this community? Now, I'm going to be sharing a few points with you on why you need to be part of this community. Number one, access to mentorship. Yes. Some of us on this call, if you are part of the mentorship currently going on with the ladies in AI, you can just indicate, although there are very few of them, we have about 30, they are currently being mentored, and then we have a lot of application already for the one-on-one research masterclass, and it is exclusive, very, very exclusive. If you not belong to a local DSN community, then it's very possible that you will not be selected. Yeah, because you need to be you need to contribute to the growth of the AI ecosystem from the grassroots, and that is what we are rewarding. That's what we are reinforcing at Business Science Nigeria. So there's mentorship available, and we have about two that's currently going on. Yes, for those who have been selected. Access to premium training, yes. It's not premium, no. Access to free premium training, yes. Free premium training, content and facility, like what we have been enjoying for the past 5 days now, is free, and then is for the community. We also have monthly mentorship section for our community members. These are free content that is premium and is available to only DSN community members. So you need to be part. Also, our communities at different levels organizes different event meetups and trainings that you need to be part of. So you cannot afford not to be part of the Data Science Nigeria community. So research support and collaboration. This is also what we offer at Data Science Nigeria. As I mentioned, that one of our pillar of impact is research. Yes, research. A few weeks ago, we won a paper at ICLR, a poster, a paper presentation at ICLR, best poster at SLR, and then this is what we are known for at Data Science Nigeria. And we also provide this support for our community, so for our community members. Last month, March, we used the whole of last week for research masterclass, and then I also mentioned that the mentorship is already going on for those who participated and our community members who will be mentored. We have mentors who are going to be mentoring them on writing research, research papers that can be published globally. Okay, we also have a certificate of participation. Yes, certificate of participation will only be given to community members at the end of the year. Yes, community members that participate at the local level, collaborated well, and also participated at the central event. It is very, very important. To know more about this certificate of participation, please reach out to your community ambassadors, and they are going to tell you more about it. So to become a DSNR, to have a membership ID, you need to scan this barcode to register, or you can even use this link to register and get your ID. I'm very sure some of you also will be asking, how do I meet the communities that are very close to me? How do I meet the ambassador? Yes, that's why we have this slide. With this slide, you can just scan this barcode or use the link here, and then you can access all of this link will be shared on the chat group. So these are annual calendar for 2025. We are currently in May, and that is why we are running the free AI classes in every city. Yeah, May. That's why we are running it around this time. So please note other programs that we are running through the year. So to access the calendar, just scan this barcode, and then you can access it. Now, we have content curated for you on our GitHub repository. So if you want to learn and you're confused, how do I start? Yes, we have created learning content on our knowledge box. Yes, that's DSN Knowledge Box 4.0. With this link on the screen, you can actually access it. My colleagues will also be dropping the link to join to access the knowledge box. Yeah, it's talk of data science, papers, workbook, textbooks, just name it. The resource is there for you. You're a beginner, intermediate, advanced. There is something for you on the knowledge box. Yes, I want somebody to just type there's something for you on the knowledge box. In the chat, there is something for you on the knowledge box. Knowledge box, data science knowledge box 4.0, there's something for you on the knowledge box. So scan this barcode to access the knowledge box. Okay, good. So moving to the next slide. Now, I want you to know that The free AI in every city is actually a journey. Yes, it's actually a a path to our all expense paid DSN Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp. Yeah, yeah. So if a part do not we want to make sure that everybody's at advantage to participate in the bootcamp, and that's why we started this year in every city that is introductory, and then it's graduate prepares you to also compete with the best of the best, and then be part of the best of the best that will be joining the DSN AI bootcamp this year. So this is the roadmap for you. So can you see now it started with what? The fair in every city, the fair class in every city that we have started, and then it moves on to the hackathon that we have in June, the boot camp learning, that's the boot camp learning that will be launched in July, AI boot camp qualification hackathon in August. In September, we have the validation and then the final selection. We announced the selected bootcamp attendees, and then yeah, the boot camp in October. I'm very sure that some of us we are very, very excited to hear that. So let me just show you the past and past pictures and of the fair and every city. This is how it always look like. But you know that this year's mode is a bit different. Yeah, it's different from what we used to have. We are still going to be having a physical section, and that's why it's very, very important for you to belong to a local community, either a campus or a city community. Yeah, it's very, very important because there's still going to be a physical, a one-day physical session where the local communities will organize, and then we are going to be putting a face to each and every one of us. We are going to network, learn, and it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be fun, and I promise that it's going to be fun. Good. Now let me show you some pictures from uh, the boot camp. Now, but before that, let me just this slide speaks to what the DSN bootcamp is about. Yes, number one, I want you to know that it's all expense paid. I'm sure you know what that means. All expense paid means that your accommodation, transportation, name it. What again? Okay, good. Yes. Accommodation, transportation, feeding, everything is sorted. From wherever you are in Nigeria, you are going to be transported down to the venue. Yes, it is all expense paid. I'm going to be trained on advanced machine learning and deep learning concepts, especially imagine application of AI, also aligned with DSM vision to raising a millionaire internet. The picture by my right shows this is what we had last year. It was very, very interesting. Okay, and I'm very sure that you don't want to miss this year's win. So this is it. From over 30,000 learners, we're able to select 200 that joined us from at the bootcamp. No, it's very, very competitive. And that is what we are preparing you for at the free AI in every city. So there's going to be award section at the bootcamp. As you can see, the best hackathon for 2024. These are live sections. These are research. You have session on research, on lifestyle, dedicated ladies in AI. We have cultural. Yeah, this was very fun. Very, very fun. Very, very fun. If you can see yourself in this picture, you can just drop. You can write emoji in the chat. Yes, it was very fun. This is a cultural night. And then you can't talk. This is the food. The food is also exotic, and then you can't. We are very intentional about giving you the best experience at the bootcamp. So you don't want to miss this year's bootcamp, and that is what you have started. You have started the journey by what joining the free AI classes in every city. So this is what it looks like. So it's very fun. We also have a poster session at the boot camp. Yes, poster session. So the research master class, what you learned and you have started the research, you can present it to the world at the boot camp. Yes, we have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to do that at the boot camp. Good, 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 good. So now let me just now use this opportunity to let me just stop sharing now. Okay, good, good. And then I'm very sure that a lot of us now we are ready for the class. And our tutor is also very, very ready, to take us to answer our questions. Yes, I'm very sure some of us, especially on the Telegram group, we've asked a lot of questions. Our support team, technical team, will be replying, and but this time around, you'll be able to what to ask questions. You'll be able to to interact, with our facilitator today. Okay, so let me just introduce to you Oluwatobi Olayanju. Yes, Oluwatobi Olayanju is my colleague, and he'll be taking us on data visualization and data storytelling. Okay, Toby, can you please confirm that you're ready, and then you can continue with the section, please?
All right, Tejimola, thank you very much for the warm introduction. I'm ready. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope you all are having a good time. If you can hear me, I just wanted to confirm I'm in the chat room. A message or two would. I see people from different places, Benue, Osun State, Ibadan. Um, okay, thank you. Great, great, great. Okay, yeah. So just to start with, what are you looking forward to explore today? What are you looking forward to learn? I just want to, so we know where to pick up from. What are you looking forward to? All right, thank you, Praise Inioluwa, Olamide Omumi, Sarafaddin Ajimudeen. What are you looking at the problem so far in the course of the learnings? This to be the last day we've gone through. You had videos, you must start through the meal. Um, it's possible that there could be stumbling blocks here and there, right? So I just want to, before we go ahead, just maybe one or two messages in the chat room to um get a brief of how your learning have been, or to even confirm that you guys went through the learnings. Yes, I just want to confirm that you guys went through the learnings. So I'm still waiting. All right, great. Okay, what is next after these 5 days? I want to learn how to perfect chat visuals, or how to use Power Query for data cleaning. Data modeling has been an issue. Looking forward to more information on how to make use of various kind of charts for good visualizations. Absolutely correct. Then, we can say that you are in the right place. So just give me a moment to put up my screen. Yeah, just to confirm if you can see my screen, please. Okay, hands-on session that we can follow through. Yeah, definitely, we are going to be seeing that here. So, all right, please confirm you can see my screen. Yeah, I just want to get a confirmation that you can see my screen. Okay, correct. All right, great. All right, great. All right, so free AI in every city, data storytelling and visualization. All right, good. So, sorry. Okay. Okay, I can see a message. You mentioned in one of the videos that data collection was taught. Okay, great. Yeah, so data collection is simply going out to source for data. And before you do that, you have to have done your problem definition to know the kind of data that you have. You'd also have done your prediction of the kind of data source that is preferable for your analysis, right? And I want to assume that everyone has gone through this, right? That's why I don't want to take us aback to start saying what is data and I mean what is data analysis as a whole, right? So for the questions that we got on on the Telegram channel as well, going through, so it shows that a lot of people have been going through the hands-on, going through the hands-on to get some things done. All right. So what is how do we import data? What is importing data? Because somebody mentioned that he was confused about what data collection means, right? Data can be in different forms. Um, I mean, in structured form, unstructured formats, semi-structured formats. Structured formats being the organized one, right? Like the Excel sheets that we know, where you can always query the data and you would have seen JSON formats and for unstructured data are the common ones in the form of, for instance, you taking my recordings as I'm talking, it is unprocessed, right? Um, that is what they call unstructured data. So in form of text, tweet scraping from the internet, I mean, different sources, that is what they call data collection. So from data collection, that is where we now go on to say, what do we want to do with this data? How do you want to solve a problem with this data, right? And that is what leads us to data analysis, which is, I mean, breaking down the data to be able to what derive insights from it. Yeah. So importing data into Power BI desktop, right, which is our major the tool we are going to be focusing on for our data to storytelling, and there are different data sources that Power BI accepts, different data sources that Power BI accepts, and as you can see, it supports flat files, SQL database, or data field, blank query, Azure Cloud Platforms, online services as well, right? So by flat files, text or CSV, and I mean, CSV is different from Excel. CSV is the one that does not have a lot of worksheets. It cannot contain worksheets. It just takes one worksheet, right? While Excel can take more than one worksheet in the workbook. So to go to access this, right, you go to get data on Power BI, you choose the format of data you want to connect to. So it could be any form, right? And this will create a connection to your data source. And then it then opens another window, which you can see on my screen. All right. So from the data imports, that's when we go to Power Query Editor. So what's the Power Query Editor? Let me just break it down. Power Query Editor is that person, that's point, that's bridge that receives our data from wherever it is coming from, right? And repurpose it for the tasks that we want to do, right? Where we are able to denoise, remove null values, um, validate that all our data sets is in the right way it should be. So this is the interface of the Power Query Editor, as you can see, right? And as at the left side, you can see the queries where you have different tables that have been imported for this. And this is how it looks like when you import your data as well. And just to give you a brief overview of what the Power BI desktop looks like. As you can see as labeled on the screen, And at any point where you can't see my screen, I would like that you just drop a comment, or if there's something I said that you didn't get, right? So Power Query Editor is the data connectivity and data preparation interface, which enables end users to seamlessly import and reshape data. So when if you have installed Power BI, good, you have been working good, and not depriving those that have not been working as well. The number you can take a screenshot if needs be. The number one, as you can see, labeled is the ribbon. So similar to our Microsoft Excel, our Microsoft Word, we know what ribbon should be, right? And this is where we have all the functions that we want to do, whether we want to add, transform, select options from queries, right? And we have the query panes, and this is a view of all the available queries. And as you can see, the number three, which is the current view, which is the main working view, where you can, navigate, switch left to right to view your table as the case may be. And for the query settings, and this is where for everything that you do on Power BI, yeah, it has a way. So query settings, like I'm saying, it's number four. So for everything you do on Power BI, it has a way of recording it step one after the other. So for any time you do something, maybe you make a mistake, there is something you have activated but you don't want to do that. You can always go, you'd see something that looks like the close button behind the change types. So if I close that, that means the type that I just changed would be reverted. So that is what query settings does, is gives us the overview of all of the settings that we have done in the Power Query. And we have the status bar, right? Which displays, because this data looks very, very small. We have 18 rows as it stands, but it's possible to have data with extensive number of rows, extensive number of columns. And this bar is displaying relevant important status. Uh, it also contains the button that makes you to like change your, as the case may be. All right, so just doing, talking about strategic keywords that we will be hearing and we'll come across while working with Power Query Editor. You understand? In the situation where you see append, you see merge, what do these things mean? Right? What do these things mean? And what is the difference between append? What is the difference between append and merge? Right? So now this is it. There is an example that you can see on the screen, right? Where we have ID, name, grade, right? And we have one, two. That means in the first table, simply, in the first table, we have the data of two persons. And for the person that asked about the data collection, right, this is an example of a data collection. You have collected the data of two persons, Mary and Tim. And you have another table that shows Yemi and Ugo, right? Another data. But now they have the same characteristics. So they have name and grade. What do you want to do? Do we want to append them to make them join together, or we have to merge? How do we determine this? So for appending, the tables must have the same number of columns, and the table column names must be the same, right? So that is joining two tables vertically. That is append, joining two tables vertically. So it's coming down because it seems like like the same flow. We just have new names and new grades. But for merge, we do not have new subject and new grade. For merge, we initially add student ID and name in the first data table, which I'll be showing you when we launch our Power BI dashboard, right? And now we now have student ID, subject, and grade in a new table. What are we going to do? We are not going to be appending, because appending brings it under. Simple term, appending brings it what under, right? To continue. Why merging takes it to the right or to the left, as the case may be. So the tables must have a merging column. That is one common column in the table for joining them. So this is actually more or less like an introduction to your relationship creation, Power Query editor, when you're doing your Power Query editor. So when you're leaving your Power Query editor to your relationship creation, you have to have something that is very common. That's I don't know if you know about primary keys, foreign keys, and all. Yeah. So as you can see, before you can append a table, there must be something that is common, which is the ID, right? And for you to merge as well, there's something that is common, which is what the student ID, because it is the student ID that is common, that is going to use to search and merge together. So there's another key term that we need to know, yeah, which is the Power BI slicer. I've showed you the visualization view, and on the visualization view, which is one of the pane that we have on Power BI, you would see something that is the one that is on the red marker here. That is the slicer. So what does the slicer do? If you're in slicer for the first time now, notice what does a slicer do? So slicer in Power BI, right, is a visual filter. So it enables users to sort and filter a packed report. For instance, we have a lot of people on this call, right? We have a lot of people on this call. What does Slicer? What does Slicer do for us as we have a lot of people on this call? We have a lot of people on this call, but definitely we have categories. We have male, we have female. So what does the Slicer do? We want to separate, right? Say, okay, I want to show male, I want to show female. So unlike, okay, I will talk about filters as well, right? So the Slicer enables the user to sort packed reports. So to view only the information that you want. So in Power BI, most of the terms and all these things are actually simple as they sound, right? As simple as they sound, slicer, to break it down. So to easily access important and frequently used filters by putting them on the report canvas, right? So that is what a slicer is. So what then do we call when we say syncing slicers? So if you create a slicer on one page of a report, right? You can sync that newly created slicer with the visuals of all the pages of that report, which means different pages of the report, right? You have a slicer that functions. So that is what it means on this report, use it. On the other report, use it as well. And to enable sync option, right? On the view tab, as we have seen on our ribbon, that is where we see the slicer pane, and we can actually activate it from there. So what are filters, right? What are filters? So Power BI filters refine your data sets, right, to produce and display data that is relevant to you. You have all the data already. Out of those data, you now want to slice. That is a slicer. But what is a filter? You don't want all of the data to reflect. So you want to take some out of it. So it has more to do with your initial data. So it works with smaller part of your data, right? And it does calculation for particular group of interests. Now you are able to say in this particular data, right? We have diff names, we have class, but there's particular description that I do not understand, and I do not want this to show on my dashboard. So that is what filter is like. So we have different types of filtering, right? We have basic filtering, right, where you are given a list of values that is scrollable and searchable. And advanced filtering is more or less like writing is pseudocode, writing a rule-based filtering where rules are applied to determine the range of values the report will return, right? And the top or button, right, used to specify the numbers of samples to return based on either the highest or lowest value. You have the list already of all the people that did jump, but that is not your business. You want to just be able to show them that these are the highest scoring participants, highest scoring candidates. You have to show the top 10. That is what that helps to do, right? So that's the top of button, right? As you'll be seeing subsequently. So that's what it helps us to do. So you used to specify, you can say, okay, you want to see the highest performing, you can say you want to see the lowest performance as well. And what are buttons? What are buttons? What do they help us to do, right? And when you see buttons, they help us to, so you can create buttons and program them on what you want to happen. You see, when you might have created your dashboard and you see that when you click on it, it's just there. Nothing happens, right? So what does button do for us? What does button do for us? What button does for us is you are able to say whenever a user, whenever the person I'm working for, whenever this person checks on this, whenever he clicks on this, I want, so it's like an automatic instruction that has been given to the back end to say, when you click on this, right, take the person to this place, return the user to the previous page of the report. When the person clicks on this, present the report page that is associated with a bookmark. When the person clicks on this, use a drill through to do what? To drill through to their selection without using bookmarks. When the person clicks on it, move from one page to another. That is what page navigation, right? So, I mean, and there are different possible states. You would see different possible states on how it can work, which means default. So when the button is not being pressed, you can configure it that when the button is not being pressed. Sometimes you see when you are clicking on reports, you click on a report and suddenly it could even be applications. It could even be, you must have seen it before. When you click on that button, it shows like a red just to show that somebody's on it, right? So how the button appears when it is not selected, that's the default. On over, when somebody is moving on it, how should it appear? On press, when the person clicks on it, how should it appear? And when they cannot be selected, right, how should the button appear? These are the things that you can modify many of the cards in the format pane. And you can do it individually for each based on these four states, the button states that we have described. Okay. If you are still with me, I just want to, yeah, take a moment to check into the chat room. If you are still with me, just want you to comment, say I'm with you, I'm with you. And I saw, I mean, some questions as well. I could answer that. So just one or two, I'm with you, so that I'll be able to know that we are on the same page. Just I'm with you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So these are questions that will be beneficial for us, and maybe when we have, interacted, we might not be able to get back to it, and I don't know, once we might get to skip it. So kindly resend all the links. All the links will be sent, like the links to your attendance, the link to whatever thing that you need to do will be sent by my colleague, right? So with the recorded video to this session, definitely it will be shared to you. Um, with this training still continue after this week, Tejimola has presented the schedule for all of the programs. So stay tuned, keep in touch on the Telegram channel. Is it possible to integrate my Power BI dashboard with real-time data sources or IoT devices? Absolutely correct question, right? I love this. That is the purpose of this, right? You want to be able to say, present, because when you're picking out the data, it's just everywhere. Now you want to be able to create a pipeline that leads it to your visualization. Absolutely correct. That is what leads us to saying data sources. Data sources, right? You can link your Power BI to a database, to an SQL server, and all of the data done there. You can link it as close to saying you can link it to a SharePoint, right? And IoT devices, absolutely, right? Configure the database, configure the structure, make sure that the visualization that you have created, the visuals that you have created, the structure, the data table, the name aligns with the name on on the data source, and absolutely, it's going to work perfectly. So that is actually the purpose of all these things, right? I also thought format was to check the cells to see what is dirty in my columns. When you say format is simply, that's why I said when we want to do this thing, let's just use it as it sounds. What is format? Format is just changing the form, right? Changing the form. Your data came as a form in a form. You are able to remove the deaths, the outliers, right? I don't know. I wanted to use your term, dirty, right? You're able to remove the outliers, what you don't need, the null values. You're able to clear this off, right? That is formatting. So, is it possible to integrate my Power BI times? I guess that's the question that I just answered now, right? To say that it is possible that to have a gateway connection that allows dashboard to refresh at every given instance. Like, so yeah, absolutely, it is possible. Thank you very much. So, we can proceed. It's great to see that you all are following. So modeling data with Power BI, right? Um, you can get back to the video because the tutor taught this extensively in the person of Humberto de Mawak. So modeling data, I'll just walk through it. Modeling data relationships is linking tables together to just enhance analytics, right? And like we said earlier, when we were talking about merging and append, we said they should have similar column names. There has to be a key in both tables that shows their relationship. And these are the things that we are trying to. So it's when you work with larger data sets, right? It gets a little bit more complicated. But with sitting down, creating this thing, even before you get onto, before you get onto um visualization saying you want to import to Power BI, you have been able to sit, and that's when you say understanding of the data to be able to know how each one interrelates. You have been able to define your visualizations even before you start. Because if you are not able to define your visualization, you imported the data, then you now start wondering what you want to do. That is not the optimal way to do it. And one good thing is Power BI has the ability to auto-dictate relationships. Although in rare cases, most are wrong. In rare cases, some are wrong, and sometimes it might not detect the one that you really need. So there is a possibility of creating relationships manually, right? Um, how do I link my device to Power BI? I don't know what device you're talking of specifically, but the only connection between data BI and Power BI and the outside world is what is data source. So going to the data source, the list of over 100 data sources that Power BI can take in, right? So you can be able to check there because I can't tell specifically what the device is like. When trying to use a data type correctly, the alphanumeric doesn't display. Well, I can't tell what you mean by that, but definitely when we get to Power Query, I'll be able to show you where you can change your data types, where you can ascertain what your data type is like. Good. Uh, so this, as Tejumola has promised, is an interactive class, right? And we sure are following ourselves. So you must have heard these things, and like actually, they are actually very, very important ones to note, right? That's relationship cardinality and well described in the videos, right, in the lessons, yeah, to say what type of kind of cardinalities that we have. We have one to one, we have one to many. We have okay, what is cardinality itself, right? What is it used for, right? And we had said that in defining relationships, we have to be able to know how different tables interrelate with each other. And as you can see now, when we say one to one, that is year, number of students, right? Year, number of students, same thing, right? Interrelating with each other. And when we say one to many, on this table on the first table that we have year, number of students. And on the second table, we have year, right? But we don't have number of students there. We have state, gender, and student number. Now, what does this do? We are able to say there is a relationship between table one, which is table of students, right, to table two, which is probably demography of students. And we're able to now create this relationship, which I will show you how to delete, how to, do all of these things. And many to many, right? As you can see, many to many as states is peculiar to a gender. Gender is also peculiar to a state. There are male that are from Kaduna, and there are people in Kaduna that are female. So it comes alongside each other. That's what we call relationship cardinality. How different data tables interrelate with one another. And for the cross filter direction, which is the bi-directional where they come together, like I explained earlier. So making relationship active, you can make a relationship active, or you can as well deactivate relationships. Like I mentioned when I was talking about management of data models. So this I'm going to be showing you, right? So building Power BI visuals and building Power BI visuals and reports. Yeah, so welcome back again to the screen. I hope you're happy to see this. And we just go do a fast walkthrough on that as well. Let me so I'll load my Power BI dashboard now. Import simple data set. And I mean we just do something. So the Power BI report editor, right? I'd explain these things, right? And just wanted to know, this is for the theoretical part. And sometimes you get into the business and you're lost. You don't know where to go to. You have it on your head to say the Power BI editor is divided into several main sections. And for each session, you cannot see the same thing inside each session. Each session has different things that are peculiar to them that they show, right? And as you can see, number 6 from your right, we have the data section. So what does the data section do, right? It shows available data tables in your queries. We have the visualization pane. Wherever you need anything about visuals, you want to create a chart, you want to create a map, you want to create a card, you are not going to the data table and start looking for where to, you're going to visualizations. When you go to filter pane, like we have described, where you can filter your data visualizations to bring out the data that you don't want to see. And you have a tab under, which is number 3, if you can see it. And all right, so yeah, the number 3 that's is showing that you can have more than one page of a dashboard, right? So we are going to be demoing that as well. So Power BI views and paints, Power BI views and paints. So as the ribbon is, there are different functionalities inside those ribbon. And but there is one peculiar thing that you have to note, which is the 4 views of Power BI. And the number one is the report view. That is what you are used to. Everybody that jumps into Power BI today has the ability to see that place, right? And the second one is the data view, which is able to allow you to view your data. I'm sure you can see it by the left. And we have the model view, where the relationship that we described earlier, right? These are the places that you can now see that relationship, access them, detect them, delete them, and modify them. And we have the DAX query view, where all of your data analysis expression, right? It gives you the ability to write, edit, and see the result of your data analysis expressions. And we have the selection pane, which shows you the list of all the objects. That's like the list of the visualizations that you have done, the list of the elements you have picked at every point in time. You're able to say you want these specific visuals to either be visible or not. We have talked about the sync slicer earlier, right? They're relating different pages to their slicer, right? And the bookmark pane, which is number 7, which enables you to capture the current state of your dashboard. Like as at this moment, I know I am at this moment I am right. Let me just make a bookmark, right? And you can see the bookmark pane. It shows you can see add. So you can say at this moment I want to add. So you can get back to it later. It captures the current state of your report page. And what's then we have the performance analyzer. So what does the performance analyzer do? So it collects and displays real-time information related to the performance of your visuals. You don't want a visual because we want to show us your data and we are trying to load it 5 hours is still there. You understand? So performance analyzer, before you deploy, you're able to check the performance of your data, of your dashboard, sorry, of your report page, and to see that, okay, when I click this, how many minutes, how many seconds does it use to load? And you're able to now say, okay, this is too much. We want to optimize. How do you want to optimize? Maybe you want to reduce something, you want to bring out graphics, you want to bring down graphics, you want to do something. That is what performance analyzer helps us to do. So the things to consider when creating the things to consider when creating a report. Is it possible to integrate data sets? Definitely, you can actually integrate data that has data from links, right? Because you can also go to the source, get the link, and I mean bring it back. You understand? So when you get to the imports data part of data of Power BI, you are going to be able to see this. So after then, what you now need to do is just pretty simple. Depending on the kind of data that you want to import, what you're going to do is simple now. You're now searching specifically that okay, I am having issue with importing this. How can I solve it? And we are going to be readily available to give you direction on that. So when you are creating a report, what are the things that you have to consider? Data characteristics, right? Story, yeah, and the audience. Who are you reporting for? So the most important thing is that you must consider your audience, whom the report is meant to serve. What is their intention of collecting you, of employing you as a data analyst? What is the intention of saying you are their business analyst? You want to be able to sell out an insight to them that actually leads to optimization of their business processes, as the case may be. Yeah. So stories, making it smooth, making it interrelate with each other, take some time to determine how to communicate this. So it's a different thing that you know what to say. It's a different thing to say, I don't know how to say it. You understand? We have a particular situation and you are wondering, am I meant to use am I meant to use a pie chart? Am I meant to use a stacked column chart? That is where story comes in. What is the right and proper chart to use in that situation? All right. So yeah, so I'll be coming back to this. I just want to hear from you all. So I'll be sharing my Power BI screen now. So it's not going to be like you all just saw pictures and that's all about it. So we're just going to do some thing real quick to be able to just, I mean, refresh ourselves. And I like appetizers, when you're getting in, you're inspired to, just want to do more. You want to see how the possibility of something happening, right? And it will be a good thing to show. All right. So we are in a major break. We are going to visualization right now. So I just want to know if you are following. If you are following, just drop a chat. Just drop a chat. Is there something you don't understand? I'll be happy to see you say I understand. Right? Just type I understand if you want me to go ahead to I'm sharing my screen on Power BI. I understand. Yes, you understand. Thank you very much. You understand. You understand. You understand. Great. 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 All right. So the big guy that brought us here, right? That gathered us together. That's Power BI, Power BI, yeah. How can I get my data from? I want to put my data from my application. My application has a database, but it's not. Yeah, this is clear. We have different data sources, right? Different data sources where you can get your data from. I don't want to make it look like magic, right? That's why I'm just taking it slow. So I don't know if you're able to see my navigation, but I can as well do it again, right? To say, I mean, you can actually pass different routes to different places. So this is, as you saw the other time when I logged into Power BI, there was a place I clicked to say, okay, open other sources. Now, as well, when you're here, you can always come here to say get data. That's to import your data. So we are talking about data imports now. Data import. Yes, you can see my data. Thank you very much, Lana Siwaju, right? Uh, that's Siwaju's brother. Get data. So, where is our data coming from? Where is our data coming from? Is it coming from analytics service? Is it coming from Dataverse? Is it coming from the web? Right? Is it coming from the web? I mean, what have you, right? So, as you can see, you must have been able to like get the link, the data source link, right? And pasting it here connects you to wherever thing that you want to take it to. And you know quite all right that your data has to be in a form that has, in his column names, although transformation can happen in Power Query, definitely, right? But that gives you ease. And that does not negate the fact that you can clean your data from scratch to end on the Power Query editor. You understand? But there are some kind of cleanings that ought to have been done. Do you understand? I mean, to make it easy for you to navigate because you are meant to have displayed your data at some point. You are meant to have checked out the source of your data at some point, know where it is coming from, have the understanding of the column names and what they stand for. Because not having that is setting yourself up for problems. Not having that is setting yourself up for problems, right? So, real quick, what do we want to do? Yeah, I just showed the web one, right? I'm importing my data from okay. I think what we talked about now, great. So I mean the home, the view, the optimize, performance analyzer, as also the various stuff that we have talked about. Apologies, sorry. So yeah, I mean the filter, the data. So yeah, that's where I talked about that. Okay, this is where your data. So as you can see, you haven't loaded any data. So get data. So get data that is here is the same thing as get data that is here as well. You understand? Something like that. So it's that flexible. Okay, good. So we are good. Let's get our data. If you are ready, say get data, say get data, say get data. Hoping to see your charts. Get data. I'm just trying to see that thank you. Get data. Tell me to get data. Right. So I'm going. So I just have a demo data. I mean, for this course, right? For this training, yeah, just to walk us through walk us through this. So I would say it's a structured data to pull because I didn't. I mean, network issues can be funny, display can be funny, so I didn't want us to waste so much time, right? So the sales data, and what happens, it could be anything, right? But I have clicked that I want to import an Excel. That is why I'm here. If I had clicked something else, import data from Excel, right? Import data from SQL Server. Import data from SQL Server, it would have taken me somewhere else, right? And I explained something earlier. I don't know if anybody noted it. I thought I was talking about refresh, how to refresh, right? When you send data from an external source. So now this is it. There's import, there's direct query. That is different mode at which the data can use to like come in. And so it's possible that you don't want your data to lag. So you can say you want to just import your data and you want to do a scheduled refresh at some point in time. Scheduled refreshing, right? And another way you can say you want it to automatically update at every point in time. But note there is just a con about when it automatically updates because it's definitely slower. Because at every point in time, it's receiving data from one point to another. So it's definitely slower to refresh. But when you want to say, okay, maybe you do an update at every given time. So that is what this for people that will be um coming to say they want to import from SQL database, right? Using Gateway and all. So just saying that. And although we say this is no code, right? But for you that have SQL, you have SQL knowledge. So this is right. This is just somewhere to play with your SQL skill and know if you really know what you say you know, right? You can define rules, sets. Okay, great. So, and from this point where we have, how do we navigate to transforming our data if we have not imported our data? Or let's assume that the data has been imported. So we can see here, we can see transform data. So what is transform data doing for us? Transform data is taking us to what? To Power Query. Yeah. So now let's do the practical session. So because when I import the data, it automatically, right, takes me to Power Query as a next step. So I don't want to confuse you such that you think that once you are out of that stage, you cannot always revert. It is possible to always revert back. Sorry. So this is easy to revert to the Power Query because you feel like, oh, this thing that I thought I cleaned is not actually properly cleaned. You understand? So that is what that does. That's transform data, right? And so back, I think I can import my data now. Done an overview. So All right, great. So I saw a question. Is the data set I'm importing available for all? I really wish I could share it, right? I really wish I could share it, but um, okay, let me just take a few moments to share it on the Telegram channel, if that's okay. Okay, please share it here. Am I able to upload? I can't confirm that I'm able to upload documents on this. I said I'm sharing a link. It's on my desktop. It's on my desktop. I'm not sure that I can do that. But we can always access the recording later. So I just want to confirm if we are okay. Umotidem, our work is going to send the Telegram channel link like very soon. Our work is going to send the Telegram channel link. So when you get to the Telegram channel, you are able to see the data sets that I'll be dropping now. So are we all in agreement of that? I don't want to say, okay, some people don't want the data yet, and I'm saying I want to go and share the data. So like, just want an agreement. If you're not on Telegram, we are going to share the Telegram link as well. So can I share the data set on the Telegram? Just 2 years, and I do that. All right, great. All right, great. Okay, great. All right, thank you for the cooperation. I mean, the data set is shared already. I mean, and the Telegram link is here already on the chat, so you can access if you want. But I would just advise that you stay. Well, I satisfied you. I just want to advise that you stay, so you watch what we're doing. You'll be able to note your questions, and then we can move on from there. So please confirm you can see my screen now. All right, good. So yeah, as you can see, I have my sheets imported already. So welcome back to class. Welcome back from the short break. My screen is okay. Yeah, yeah, my screen is visible. Thank you very much. Welcome back from the short break. So, uh, all right. So we have this takes us to the navigator, which is able to give us a preview of what our data set is like, right? A preview of what our data set is like. And what do we have here? We have the row ID, the order ID, the order date, the ship mode, customer ID, customer name, segment, country, region, city, state, postal code, right? And what are the important metrics that are needed to note? What are the kind of things that we can visualize, right? And that is interlinking these things together. We can say we want to know the sales, the sales per what, maybe the sales per region, the sales per category. I mean the furnitures, the office supplies, the technology. What is the sale like, right? We can say subcategory, and we can say the sales per state. We want to be able to track the sales per state, right? We want to use that as a filter as well. Yeah. So we can say we want to be able to see the discount card, the quantity, I mean the profits at the end of the year, at the end of the month, at the end of a given period. I mean, these are the things that we can figure from this that I have described, right? Giving the data set that describes business activities in the year, right? So this is also applicable to all kind of data sets when you are opening Navigator and you are able to check through on what it contains, right? I would have displayed the data set for you on Excel, so just not to waste our time, because that is where I prefer to see because it's like a full screen, I'm able to see the nook and crannies and all these things. So this is a clean data set to see, but I'll be showing you some things that can be done as we are in this process of saying we want to add columns, we want to filter values, we want to remove, we want to order, we want to, yeah. So after this, after we have been able to select the tables that the table that we require, right? So if you have this is a similar table, right? But it is possible that you have a university data set. And you know, in university data set, you definitely going to be having list of colleges. In university data set, you are going to be having list of department, list of students, list of courses. So these tables are going to be there. But you are coming to come and analyze their financial activities. So what do? You click out the one that does not relate with financial activities out of the tables that have been shown, right? And that is what it means. So there are two things that you can do from here. You can either load or you transform. Load or transform. Load or transform. Yeah. Load or transform. So what is load? Load is my data is clean. There's no problem. I have checked it. I've done it in Excel. We have a data source that is absolutely okay, awesome. It has been merged. That. Transform data. What is it? No, my data set is not clean. I'm seeing it for the first time. I want to do something. I feel it is not correct. I feel like they are missing values. I feel that they are no values. This and that, right? So we don't want to jump. Let's go to transform data. So what does transform data do? It leads us to this thing that you've been hearing this way. Power Query Editor, Power Query Editor, Power Query Editor. Yeah, that is what transform data does for us. Apologies for that. Power Query is kind of dramatic. So, okay, it came up already. Yeah, so this is it. Now, not to confuse us, right? Um, I have described this earlier, but you might have not been able to see it practically. Now, these are your data columns. Your data columns are not manufactured. They are the column names that came from your data set, right? So it automatically identifies the first row as your column, right? As the case may be. You understand? So we have all of the things here, as we have said, right? So now we don't want a particular column. One thing about so one direct I told you about English language in data analysis for Power BI specifically because it works. So what do you want to do? You are here, you are confused. Do you want to manage columns? What is manage columns? Okay, this column, I want to do something to it. So there's already column in your problem statement. Do you want to manage rows? These rows, I want to do something to it. Do you want to order? Do you want to sort? Right? Do you want to now change? Do you want to transform? Do you want to find something? Do you want to change the data source? Do you feel like um this is not the data source that you are looking for? Or I'm seeing two participants. My transform page is not showing. Okay, I just want somebody else to confirm. Um, okay. So just okay. If it's static, is it still static now? Is it still static now? Is this still static now? Yes, no. Is it meant to be no? Is this still static now? Yes. That means it's still static. Yeah, if you should type full, yes, it's still static. I'm on a screen. Oh, I'm on the Power Query editor screen. I'm on the Power Query editor screen. I am explaining the things that are there. Okay, but now the, I moved it a little bit. So did it move at your hand? Did it move at your hand? Oh, it didn't move. Okay, great. So let me stop sharing then. I think you guys know what you're saying. Sorry, apologies. Uh, so I hope it works now because I couldn't even tell why it didn't work. All right. All right. Are we good? Are we good? All right. Thank you. Thank you, my Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So apologies, Sohana, yeah, and I've said a lot. I was giving the description which says that whatever you need to do has to be well defined. And I said you want to manage rows, manage columns, manage rows, manage column. You want to change data source, you want to query, you want to refresh preview, you want to do anything like that. So they are you look like underneath here, you would see something new query, right? Right? New query. You see data sources, you see parameters, right? You see query, right? You see manage columns, you see reduce rows, right? You see sort, you see transform, right? You see combine, then you see AI insights, right? So these things are guides to take you to what you want to do. You understand? So now, if I say, like I described earlier, now, like I described earlier, I said merge queries, append query. Okay, great. So this is a company, this is a company that has that has different products, right? I just want to ask a general question. I just want to ask a general question. So this is a company that has, I mean, different products, right? But this is a particular, this is coming from a particular branch. This is coming from a particular branch. Are you guys listening to the question? This is coming from a particular branch. Let's say Lagos branch, right? And they are able to be able to capture the orders that came from different places in Lagos branch. So all the orders, all the deliveries were from Lagos branch. Now there is now another company that is maybe this is the mother company. Then they have a branch in Ibadan. So the branch in Ibadan have similar data like this, where people have done shipping, they have order dates, they have shipping dates, they have regions where orders are come from. You as the data analyst, you are sitting on the top of this data, and you want to say, you want to now use the data for Ibadan and the data for Lagos to do the analysis for this company and say you want to do for Nigeria. You want to do because maybe they have another branch outside Nigeria. So what are you doing in that case? Do you get the question? You have Lagos branch, you have Ibadan branch. So you want to merge it together. Let's just assume you have two states in Nigeria. So you want to merge it together. You want to bring these two data sets together and work on them and do visualization on them. So what are you going to be using? Are you going to be using merge or are you going to be using append? You have two data sets with the same column names, but different data. Somebody said append the data. No, if you want to win, you say append and why. You say merge and why. We have data set, this same data set in Ibadan. We have this same data set in Lagos. But definitely the content will be different. We now want to use the two together. So what are we doing? Okay, there's only one person that has answered this morning. Append because in same. All right, I think I have good questions now. There's English that says merge because when we say you want to bring Lagos data and Ibadan data, that means you are merging the data in our name English. But when you want to do Power Query, yeah, you want to merge two tables together. You want to merge two the queries or merge the queries. How do you make a decision? Now, what did I tell you? Listen again. Append is what? Adding it under. Append is adding it under because they have the same column headers. So you are adding it under. They have the same column headers because in that place they have the order dates, they have the ship dates, they have the ship mode, they have different things, right? So you are doing what? You are appending. Sorry. So somebody said merge data because they have exact same column headers. Now let me tell you what will happen when you merge the data. When you merge the data, this is what's going to happen. When you merge the data, it continues to say order ID. You know, that one, they have row ID, right? So it says row ID, order ID, order ID. Then when it gets to the end of the call, when you merge it, what happens? Another one will start from here and it will say order days. It will say order ID, sales, quantity. Then it continues like that. But do we really need that? We don't need that because we don't want it to be on horizontal flow. We want to be on a vertical flow because what they carry the same information. That is where append comes in, right? But in this same company, because of data security, because of this sales girl was able to only pull out data that has to do with sales, quantity, money, transaction that has to do with the company, right? But in this same data set, that is where that is. We now have in that same company, right? When that same company, we now have another data set that has to do with employers' name, sorry, employees' name in that company, right? It has employees' name, it has employees' age tagged to it, it has different column headers from this. And we now want to visualize everything together. That is what we are doing. We are now bringing it here to say merge. So what does merge do? It continues the flow from sales. It says quantity, discount, profit, right? Employees' name, right? Employees' name. And but if you are saying append, append works for Lagos and Ibadan transaction because what we just want to know what they have sold, as the case may be. You understand? So, is that clear? If it's clear, say clear. If it's clear, say clear. If it's not clear, say why it's not clear. Just for 1, 2 minutes before we go on. All right, great. Thank you. But just cram this. Just cram this. Append under merge right to your left. Thank you. So now replace values, right? Replace values. What is replace value? Let's now imagine that we have. Okay, let's go to data types. Data types. Yeah. So what is data types? Right. So that's the characteristics of the values in your column now, right? So this is where you can see the data types, and Power Query Editor also allows you to ascertain that the data type is absolutely correct. So we have this ABC, right? So is it ABC? Is it a percentage? Is it a time? Is it a date? Is it binary? This is where you change the data type. All right. And it continues to whatever thing that you want to do. You understand? So but now the city, I want to just show you something when I talked about and Power BI having the ability to keep tracks of whatever thing that you have been able to do. Now this city, right, it is disturbing us. We don't want this city anymore. We don't want the city in this data set. So what do? We remove column, right? So we remove column, right? So I have selected a column. Is it that I say, like now, if I select city, I press, so you might not see what I'm doing, but I press shift on my keyboard to be able to select all these, you understand? So, but if that's not the case, and I'm selecting just one, I don't want region in their state or this data set. I don't want it to show the name of people because it is their personal stuff. You understand? So how do we remove the column? Remove a column has different functionality, right? Because you might want to remove the column for different reasons, but removing column is removing column. It is a constant. You want to remove column. That is what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, get a problem definition. Define what you want to do. What do you want to do? Remove a column. So go to remove column, right? When we remove column, we want to remove region. So I say remove column. So remove the currently selected column from this table. Remove. Now, you cannot see the region column anymore. I don't see the region column anymore. So, but you now feel like this is a mistake, right? For all these activities, there are like data analysis expression that generates for it, as you can see, right? Table dot remove column, change region, and it has removed. But for this thing that you just did and you felt like it was a mistake, there is something by the right side, which is in the query settings, that tracks all of your activities. As I think I've explained this earlier, that tracks all of your activities. So what you do is you felt like this was a mistake. You feel like this is correct. All the other ones are correct, right? So you can go to remove columns, right? Press this cancel, and you're able to revert anything that you did, anything at all that you did, you're able to revert it. Anything that you did, you're able to revert it. So you can see that when we cancel it, we are able to now bring back the region. Now there is something. This is very, very dicey, right? This is very, very dicey. Um, you have said, okay, let's do it like this. You feel like what you want to do, well, what I want to teach you is removing rows, keeping rows. But just using this as an example, you felt like you want to clean out all the West. You don't want to do anything to do with West in this analysis. What do? You don't want to you want to clean West. What do you do? Should I go to West and start deleting them one after the other? What is the somebody should tell me the first thing that should come to your mind when you want to take West away from this data set? Anything that has to do with West, I want to take it away. So you want to take all the rows that has the information about West. Let me tell you, tell me what you think you will do. Filter West, great. Filter West, great. So where's filter? Where's filter? Because people are saying filter where. So where's filter? Where will I see filter? All right, great. Uh, all right. So yeah, you want to know this data is much. It's long, right? You don't you and there are data sets that are even more than this, and you want to just know what is the distribution, what are the things that are here in this ship mode. What kind of ship modes do we have? You want to see the characteristics of this particular column. What do? This here by the right side of the column, you click it, right? And you're able to say this, first class, right? Same day, right? Second class, right? And if you want to show, so if you want to show for first class, same day, you're able to say, I want to cancel this. I want to cancel this. I don't want it to show in my table, right? So that is a lot of people type filter, but when I asked where is filter, a lot of people disappeared. Right. So I've been able to touch that. Um, so now we have there's one particular entry that is disturbing us. There's a particular entry that is disturbing us. We don't know how it got into the data set. Maybe let's say it's an outlier like a character that it is not necessary. Maybe an empty space safe, or maybe a full stop. Maybe you told people to put their number inside. You want to analyze something. You want to analyze age, right? You want to analyze age. And people to put their age, and some people just decide to start putting full stop. So although you might have corrected that with your data type when you are collecting the data, but there's some data sets that you see something that it is not meant to be there. And when you clicked on the filter, right, you had been able to see that, oh, all of these are what I need. All of these are what I need. But you can now see that there is an empty space there, or there is something that you don't like. What should you do? Somebody should tell me what I can do. I want to take this off. Looking at our ribbon now, what do you think is the first place we should do? Should we go to reduce row, manage column query, or should we go to transform or combine? That's what I want you to do. So, okay, the list may not be coming because it has not loaded. It didn't load all the lists. And as you can see, when you see, I'm asking a question on the chat. Why is there the list may not be complete? It it didn't load it, all of it. So you saw that when it showed that I refreshed. So when I refreshed, it showed all of the all of the data value that is contained in that. Okay, come again with that question. Hey, we don't have so much time again. Okay, come again with that question, right? So this is the question. The question is there is a value in our there is a value that is not necessary. Maybe you say people should write their age, and they're writing they have inputted full stop, or you can see full stop in the list, and what is meant to be there is maybe states. You can see dash, you can see a state that is not even reasonable. You understand? So what should we do to take that off? We have already said the first thing to do is to check our filter. So find and replace value. Most is great. Find and replace value. So what is find and replace value? Where can we see it? Good. I like the person that say transform, because I said the logic behind getting things done in Power Query is like, think about the problem definition. What are you going to do? Then look for the ribbon that speaks to your concern. You understand? So replace value. Where do we see that? In transform. This is it. Replace value. So when you click replace value, you are able to say that values to find, you know that this values to find is ash. You don't know why it is there. You are clean, you don't know why it is there. And you want to replace it with what? Null. You want to generalize all of the things that are in your, you want to generalize all the empty spaces, all the whatever, all the empty spaces in your data set, all these things. This is where to do it. Just know the English. When you want to replace something to something, you go to replace value. Simple, right? So moving on. I hope that was clear, right? Yeah. So it works for every other thing that you want to do as well, right? Going forward to saying you want to group by, you want to. So there's something I wanted to show you here, which is keep rows, right? You have filtered, you know that in a data set, sometimes you see null, Null. You have been able to filter and uh, you have been able to filter null. If it is not clear, use my cheat code. I said, if you want to do something, think about what you want to do and what is the meaning, and look for the ribbon where that thing can mostly work. We have a list of values in a column, and in that list of values, there is one value that is not aligned with other members of that column. What do? We want to take it out. If we don't know what is meant to be there, we want to replace it. Okay, there is somebody, the person came into the school, right, with JAMB, and we have JAMB score, a list of JAMB score, and we have another table for direct entry, like the students that came in with direct entry. So the students that came in direct entry, not all of them will have JAMB, definitely. So in the JAMB column, the student have direct entry will be empty, definitely. So if you want to, do you want to now use that empty column like that? You want to be able to classify that, okay, these are the numbers of nulls that are here. You want to replace the value in this column with what? With something. That is what takes you to what? Transform, which is the English that you first defined. You want to change the state of the data. So you replace it. So you replace value. So you replace value. So whatever you are replacing is a definition of what you need to be there. It works for any instance where replace has to be. Now, so keeping rows and removing rows, right? So I said something. When you filter, you say A to Z. And you know that from A to Z, null, N is the last one on that list, right? Other ones are numbers. We have numbers in a row, right? We have numbers in a row and we have null values there. So definitely, when you have numbers, phone number 0810622, you understand? That is what is in the data column. And in that same column, we now have null, null for the people that did not enter their number. Are you getting me? So what are you meant to do? So you know definitely that you have to rearrange it such that the numbers jump to the top and what? The values go under, because it will start from number. And even if you rearrange it upside down, that's Z to A, that means the null will be up and the ones that have values will be under. So what do we do? When you have done that, and that means you have sorted very well, then you now say keep range of rows, right? So keep bottom rows. That is what you have selected. So you now say numbers of rows that you want to keep in this place. You have 100 entries, and you have seen that number 1 to 80. Okay, you have 100 entries. You filtered, and all the numbers came up. And under that, we now have null, and numbers are from number 1 to 90. So how many numbers of row are we going to now keep? We are going to keep 90 rows, and we're going to what? Delete all. So when you press 90 here, number of rows, it keeps only 90 and deletes everything after 90. That's what it does. So look at the English very well. Keep rows, remove rows, keep top rows. So keep how many top rows, keep how many bottom rows. That means when you are starting from under, right? So I'd like us to do something more, something greater here. So that is the overall of what is being done in um Power Query Editor. And now you can now go to something that is very, very, very important, which is what? Adding columns. You want to add a new column, right? You want to add a new column to this. So this is it. Add the column, right? So you add the column that okay, this particular one. So columns from example, right? That is, you are able to describe how you want the column to be like. Maybe it has a particular pattern, as the case may be. You understand? Or custom column, as the case may be. You understand? So that is where that is being done. So now, moving on from that, let's just get into our screen to see all our navigators and the descriptions. Uh, so I hope you are still following. Okay, so I just can't we just clear the null values? So how do you clear the null values? How do you clear the null values? You have a data set of like, I mean, a lot of rows. If you don't filter it, you won't be able to clear it because the null values are in between the data sets. So if you say you want to start deleting one after the other, that's difficult. So it is now, this is the logic behind data cleaning that makes you faster than the other person. You understand? That is why we need to say, okay, let's sort it because we know that numbers will come forward, because we know that empty spaces will come down. So when empty spaces come down, we minus the number of column by the number that we have available and delete them, something like that. So it's different. You can come up with a very greater logic, a greater logic now, and say, don't let us do that. So it's just to achieve this goal, to achieve which goal? To make sure that the data is clean, to make sure that the data is clean, right? So that's the goal. So we know merge, we know append now, and all. I'm sure we get it right. So when you are done with everything you are doing, if you don't do this, everything you have done is just like a waste. You understand? So I did a filter row. So where's the sort function? I wasn't expecting you to ask me where the sort function is. Why? Because I already told you that when you have a problem, just look at the ribbon, you will see it. Now look at the ribbon in just 2 minutes. Tell me whether you've seen the sort function or not. It's not just the person that asks the question, any person. If you are okay, you have a problem, you want to sort. Now look for sort. You've not seen it before. You are just seeing it for the first time. Look for sort. Did you see it or not? Have you been able to see sort? Seen. Great. 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 So all you have to do is don't think that oh, you have to cram it. You don't have to cram it. It is there. It is defined, well written. You understand? Great, great, great. So I'm not going to answer the question because every other person has, yeah, great. So now close and apply. Close and apply, right? Apply means what? I want to save this thing that I've done for now, right? But close and apply means I am done here. I want to move on to my visualization, right? So what is filtered road? So filtered road that we did now, this thing I just did as a trial. So let's delete it. So that has been deleted already. So now let's go on to say close and apply. That we are leaving. I would have loved to show creation of, but I think we have bigger stuff to do. So close and apply. So there are pending changes that we have not done. Okay, so the shared window has been closed. Close and apply had closed the Power BI, Power Query editor rather. So I'm just going to share the. Okay, so please confirm you can see my screen. Sometimes depending on the type of data, so that is why it is good to like know that okay, the data you are importing is actually good. So because this affects the load time of your data, the kind of data that you are importing, you understand? So it's loading at the moment. I hope it loads faster and we are able to get onto whatever I want to do. How to be fast. How many minutes do we have? We have 20 minutes. Am I able to create a dashboard in 20 minutes? Like I'll use magic. Okay. Okay, 9,994 rows loaded. Please confirm you can see my screen. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. So let me just can stop and reshare. So we'll be rounding off soon. Let me just stop and reshare. Okay, we want to. Okay. Okay, my screen is up, right? So thank you. My screen is up, right? Just confirm. Just one confirmation, please. All right, thank you very much. So what are we doing? We have imported the orders, right? We have the orders, we have the description of the data, like I told you earlier, and what are the things that we want to do, right? What are the things that we want to do? So because this is a fast pace already, okay, there's something you don't know. There is okay, I have a chat. Okay, this is the interface, right? Great. I just wanted okay, let's just do something real quick before our time runs out. Okay, I don't know if you know about this, right? So just press Control and all right, so Control, yeah. So I've been able to press Control and backward slash. Control and backward slash. Okay, let me just press it for you guys so that you can see. You can see I'm typing something. Control and backward slash. Control and backward slash. Can you see it? So that is what you need to press. When you press that, you are able to what? Fast create something. So what do I want to do? I want to do region sales. So region sales, right? Region sales. Region sales. Sorry. Region sales. And what is the visualization I want to use? I want to use donuts, right? Visuals region sales donuts. So I'll show you the so region sales donuts. It's able to take me to my take it to what's it called? To the data set and I mean merge it together and creates the relationship that brings that out. So region shade donuts, we have done that, and we can put it. I want to. I think you guys can recording. I'm breaking a world record. We have just how many minutes more? So to create a dashboard. So sum of sales by region. Let me say we want to do subcategory, subcategory, and that's why I explained the So that's why I explained, I mean, all of the visuals before and the data set description, sales category, and sorry, I said sales category, so subcategory for the sales. And what kind of visualization should we use for that? We used funnel, right? So having that on point, so yeah. So I'll put that here. So we want to see state sales map, right? State sales map. Oh, sorry, apologies. Uh, So state sales map, sorry. State sales map, right. So state sales map is here. And okay, so we're going fast. I think we are going to be able to meet up. Um, So I want to show segment sales, the map as well. Segment sales. So when you're done, you just close this, right? So you can always inspect this. This is what happens. Okay, let's take it down. This is what happens. When you choose this, you're able to see the legends, the values, and these are the things you are meant to do manually with your ends, like bringing it down, saying by cancel sum of sales, right? And region, right? So it's able to create the script, so I just want to show you the visualization. It's able to create all the that is needed to make this to show. Then I want to show what segment sales, that's in a pie chart. So segment sales in a pie chart, I segment sales pie. Segment sales, right? Segment sales pie. So I'm putting that here, right? So I intended to actually teach how to, I mean, make backgrounds to be able to import and all of these things, right? But I think we are going to be able to get something with this regardless because of our time.
And I just feel like it was profitable to take your questions and answer as we go into the class. So other dates, yeah. So this is closed. Um, Other dates, right? Sales. So when you want to say, when you want to do trend over time, what do you do? Trend over time, you definitely use what? Use a line chart. So trends over time, use a line chart. So doing that normally, you have to be able to, you come and pick here, you come and look for line chart here. This is line chart normally. Then you import, put all of the data columns needed as I had described earlier. So that is why, but I'm just trying to do this fast so as to be able to get something out of this class, right? So we have this, and I'm locking it in. And so just to get the overview concept of what you have to do, right? Let me know in the chat if you are following. Okay, that's this kind of questions are the things that we can be sorting for you in the Telegram channel. So feel free to tag on the Telegram channel and say, okay, this, I'm able to follow up with that. So now let's just do maybe sales card or something like that. So this is a card. I've chosen a card, right? I'm putting a card here. Sorry. Um, so we have a sales card. So card, right? For the card, so sales card, right? So some of the sales we have it here, right? Some of sales. It's painful. I might not be able to teach formatting visuals. Okay. But that is in the class, right? That is in the video. So we'll share the video again so that you guys can go through it. So that's the sales card. So let's look for maybe and do another card that has to do with maybe let's say profits. Another sales card. So let's say profit, right? So sum of profits, yeah, yeah. So it's able to do that, yeah. So what kind of thing? What kind of thing can we show again? So let's do a title. So how do you do a title? You want to do a title, so you do just this. As you can see, insert. So go back to that ribbon again and read it. So what does that show? Title text box. So what is the title? So what is the font that we use? I believe so much in these fonts, right? So it's just depends on whatever you want to use, right? So you are free to use whatever you want to use. So I'm able to type it and say sales, right? Sales analytics dashboard, right? Dashboard, DSN tests, right? That's what you're just doing. Um, and we have it. Where do you want to put it? You want to put it at the top of this place. So, okay, I think this is going to lead us to somewhere very, very interesting. This is going to lead us somewhere very interesting because now we need a format. So, what is the format? We need it to. So we are now in formatting, right? We already got to the formatting now. So, formatting whatever you are doing. So, I'm able to. Sorry, I'm just trying to rush. So bold, right? So I think we need something bigger, around 32, right? Sales analytics dashboard. So I think it's talking about the pins, right? The specifications of the pin where you are able to edit all of these things. So if you are looking for that, you are not what's it called? You are not looking for it in filters. You are looking for it in uh, what's it called? In visuals, right? You're looking for it in visuals. So what I want to do now is to format text box, right? So I want to remove the background because as you can see, it is the background that is covering this thing. So this is where I remove the background, right? I remove the background, yeah, so it can be on its own. Do you get it? So I mean, I definitely can shift my visuals a little bit lower, right? Right, yeah, yeah, something like this, right? Right. It's not we have some of profit. We can do something like maybe putting in uh, so discounts, yeah, we can put the discount as well. So some of discounts, uh, right, as the case may be, right. So there's something called slicer, right? Slicer that we talked about that time, right? So what's the slicer? This is the slicer, and I showed you in the picture. Um, okay, so Slicer, so what is Slicer able to do? Slicer is going to help us to now say, this is the things we want to do. So we want to slice. So you want to slice per what? Per maybe per location, per date, per region, do you understand? So that is what Slicer can help us to do. So let's say we want to slice by per 50. You understand? Per 50. You want to be able to filter past that. You can see that this is actually interactive as well. You can see this is interactive. When I click for copiers, you see, it shows only information about copiers on the data. You can see the line chart. When I click for tables, it shows, you can see it's very interactive. So now this city, you can see when you click your slider, it comes like this, but you're able to edit it, right, in the way it shows up. You understand? So doing a general edit as a properties, right, to be able to say how you want it to be. You can decide to say, okay, you want to choose whether it's going to be, what's it called? Maybe a drop down, whether it's going to be a drop down, it's going to be, you can decide that, okay, you want to give it a color. And I'm sorry, we cannot able to do the color. Okay, so we cannot do color now formatting because that's going to take our time, right? This is going to be like a drop down. Uh, okay, so but there's something in Power BI where, like, for someone like me that is not really good with visual and all these things, you can always do some magic, right? Although this needs to be improved because you can always you need to get a structured background to be able to know, because you must have done the preliminary preparations that you need to do to bring this up. And we can see we have gotten our dashboard up and we are able to show or communicate insights. So just to make it fine so that it won't look like, this is what you guys created in your stuff. So we have, I have a team to show you guys, and then we have our city. And for this city, Abdul, whatever. So it's showing, as you can see, there are blank spaces for this thing where we have not like affected that in our what's it called, data cleaning and all. And we have this dashboard that was created in how many minutes? So you guys, when I enroll for my world record stuff, so you guys can join my life. All right. So we have a dashboard right now, and I'm going to the interface. So taking you back to what model view is like. So model view is where the interactions have been created, right? And I wish we had more time to do more of this. And the data table, right? Right. So we were not able to exactly create relationships because of our time constraints and the type of building that we did. And to create, how's it called? So to say you want to create measures, what are measures? Right? What are measures? What are columns? What's the difference between measure and columns? Those are things that you ought to know. So even if it means for you to jot it down that, okay, what are measures, what are columns? These are the things that you want to know. And you can always drop questions in the chat room so that we can engage. Just 3 minutes more to the end of. So to say you want to create measure, so what is it? So new measure. What is new measure?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Tubi. I'm very sure that we all enjoyed the class. Please, with your favorite emoji, I want you to witness that you enjoyed this class. Please drop your favorite emoji
I
on
really
the
hope
chat
they
room.
do.
Yeah,
Right.
I know. I've been
I
wow,
think
this is awesome.
judgment time, right?
This is awesome. Toby, these guys have gone through the sessions for 5 days, and I'm sure they understand measures and the videos are available on our YouTube page. So then, because of our time, Toby, let us just stop here. We can always organize another section on our Telegram page. Just make sure you're on our Telegram group. Toby is there and we always attend to you. Now, because of our time, I want to quickly share with us the next steps, of this program, the fair and everything. But please, I want you to use your favorite emoji once again to celebrate Toby. Toby has done an awesome job, in delivering this content.
All
Wow,
right,
in
Mr.
fact,
Teju, Mr. Teju.
Toby, what's it?
So I don't know if my screen still up. Sorry.
Okay, good. Toby has actually done awesome job. Thank you
No, I
very
want to
much,
ask you
Toby.
if my screen was still up. Is my screen still up?
Yeah, your screen is still up. Your screen
Okay,
is
yes.
still
I
up.
just wanted to show something. Apologies. So this is the pages where I said pages. So you can always create a new page, do something else. Like this page now, what are we saying? We are saying sales overview, right? The next page you can say maybe customer overview, giving description. So that is what page is like. So you can create as many as possible pages that you want to create. Thank you very much. So deployment and collaboration of this thing is done on Power BI service where you have other people that can interact with you and all like that. I have other stuff that I would have loved to share, but because of our time constraints, it's nice to be here with you guys. I appreciate you for having me and for the engagement so far.
Thank you
God bless.
very
Thank you very much.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you very, very much. So now I just want to quickly, because of our time, I want to quickly share the next steps of this training. As we all know that this leads to our free to our all expense paid AI boot camp. So let me just quickly share on the screen now the timeline so that you can all be ready now and also be aware of what's next to do. So we are done with data storytelling and visualization. That's between the 5th of May to 9th of May. And next week, we're going to be focusing on Python for data science and machine learning. I'm sure you're very excited that this is what is. And so Monday, just be ready for the self-paced learning. From Monday to Friday, there's going to be a content that will be shared with every one of us, especially those who selected Python for data science and machine learning while registering. And on Friday next week, we also have our facilitator ready that is going to take you on a live session on Python for data science and machine learning. It's going to be awesome. Yes, I'm saying that again. It's going to be awesome and it's going to be very interesting. So thank you very much for staying and then for joining us from we started 3 and now it's 5. We have actually done very, very well staying through this class. So thank you once again, Toby Olayoju, for that awesome delivery. And please do enjoy the rest of your day. You can all let's resort to our Telegram group where we continue the conversation. Want to ask any questions? You never know, he's there to respond to your question. So thank you very much and do enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye everyone.